I'm leaving San Francisco to make my way to Los Angeles. I am officially halfway done with the tour. 12 stops are finished and 11 more to go. So psychologically, this makes me feel good to know that most of the work is done. So let's continue. I don't know why, but I thought Cannery Row was in the East Coast, but no, it's in Monterey, California, made famous by John Steinbeck, whose work I read when I was in high school. When I heard his name today, Steinbeck, I thought he was a hand rubber, but I guess he's not. Is that car gonna hit me? I'm gonna jump out. Whew. All right. So Cannery Row is now just a place for people to buy junk, just to eat food. I don't think there's any canning going on. And then I went to the seaside and I saw all these sea otters. And boy, they are lazy boys. They're just cooking in the sun, making their noises, and I was so jealous. I was like, man, I wish I could just sit down. I wish I wasn't a human being who has all these ambitious goals and projects and stuff, things to do, things to spend 40 years doing. I just wish I didn't have that. At that moment, I wish I could be a sea otter and do nothing. But no, I have 23 stops to do. I'm the big man, got to do a tour, right? Please make it stop. Just want to relax, just like the sea otter. Speaking of otters, where is my boy Bert? Even Bert doesn't want to travel anymore. What have I done? I'm in the Big Sur right now, and I have overloaded on beauty. It was just too much. I had to turn away from it. The only other place I had to do that in was the Rocky Mountains. The Rocky Mountains had the mountain beauty, and this is the water beauty. I only scratched the surface of what Big Sur has. Only been here for a few hours, but I can't take any more. Glory to God for all things. I went to Pfeiffer Beach and I found a perch on a rock, and I cheered the waves on to come crashing onto the shore. I felt so little, so small. Who am I to experience this? When you surround yourself with ugliness for so long, you may not be able to handle the beauty when it comes to you. I even got the sunset. As soon as the sun went down, they left, but I'll stay a little bit more. I just can't get over the way this cliffs are. Unfortunately, there were a lot of tree huggers here, a lot of women with tattoos and shaved heads. I don't know how they found this place. I can take what I saw here and just go home right now in peace. I don't need to see anything else. But I'm so far away from home. I don't even have a home, actually. Technically, I am a homeless man. So, just when I was feeling a little bit tired, a little bit down, now I am rejuvenated. Hopefully it lasts for a few days. San Simeon, a quiet beach town. Nobody is on the beach. I'm sitting on a rock that has a chair almost carved into it, it feels. There's a lot of shorebirds flying overhead. I'm thankful that none of them decided to drop their cargo onto me. I decided to take a day off, so no driving. I have not driven my car today. I don't plan to. And to me, it's an amazing thing how just one day of rest gives you so much energy. It probably helps that I can sleep with the sound of the waves. Just kind of sit here with nothing to do. I do wish I could stay. But I have responsibilities, commitments. If you're wondering why I'm wearing a jacket, because the wind is a little bit cool. That's all I have to say about this place.
Take the next left onto Arcadia Street. Then turn right onto the US 101 North Ramp.
My Los Angeles event was a success. That means the gauntlet is complete. Portland, Seattle, San Francisco, and LA, all my events went well. Hopefully the rest of them will be smooth sailing. I'm right now in my Roach Motel in Bell. Where's Bell? Bell is a city south of downtown where I am the whitest person here. It's a Hispanic area. And people look at me like, who's that gringo? Is that gringo lost essay? But no one has bothered me here. So LA is not really one city. It's basically a dozen, more than that, dozens of cities kind of combined into one ant colony with a lot of busy ants. And it's really dense. It's more spread out than, say, New York or Chicago a bit, but it's huge. It's just, I mean, even though a city is kind of close by, it's farther than it looks. You have to drive for a while. The traffic here is atrocious. Even in like midnight on the weekend, there's this traffic. It never ends. And I don't know how people can live here. I mean, driving around, I'm thinking, man, the pleasures that Los Angeles can give, the fulfillment of temptations must be really high for people to tolerate this. It's inhuman how you're just stuck in that capsule, moving around, and that was hard to deal with. I felt like I was trapped, even though, and there's tons of highways. You would think, well, some of these highways have to be clear, and you use your navigation app to get the clearer route with less traffic. No, they're all crowded at almost all times. And the locals like, well, you get used to it. Well, yeah, if I was a rat, I'd get used to filth too, but I'm not a rat anymore. I want to be like an eagle soaring over the mountains. So LA is not going to be a good place for me. As you saw, I went to Skid Row. Now, Skid Row is historically the homeless shelter of LA, the open air homeless shelter. I went there just to get some footage of this really degrading way that people live, tents everywhere, and it's allowed. But what I didn't capture in the video is the stench. I mean, I've lived in South America where the sewage system isn't that great, but here it's just so pungent, just so sharp. It really smacks you in the face. I've seen a lot of homeless in other cities, but the extent of it here, I thought it was going to be mostly confined to Skid Row, but it's not. It's everywhere. These tents, you can find them everywhere. You can find them in the downtown area. I remember reading an article that said people from LA are moving to cities like Portland. I said, Portland is garbage. And now it makes sense why people from LA, because not only do they have that homelessness, that homo problem, but also LA has the traffic, which really reduces your quality of life. And I can tell you about that traffic. If there's like a war here or some really major crisis where people have to get out, no one is getting out. Even in peacetime, the traffic is so bad. If it's like a little earthquake, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be in LA if there's something serious that's like a once in a 50-year event where people have to get out. No one is getting out. I mean, it's going to be Thunderdome, people. That's how I think LA is going to be. Hopefully not. So downtown wasn't that good, but Hollywood must be good, because people are upending their lives to come to Hollywood to become a star. Well, Hollywood was a dump. I mean, even in terms of a tourist attraction, it sucked, man. It was dirty. The shops themselves were low grade souvenir shops. A lot of filthy people. Um, and I don't mean that filthy in a metaphorical sense, but just dirty people. People were heavily tatted up. I mean, I've never seen so many tattoos here. It's like you need a tattoo to live there. Well, whatever, I don't know what Hollywood sold you about what Hollywood is, but you go there, it's dirty. Even the Walk of Fame, like the stars, it's dirty. I did pay homage to the Donald Trump star. I thought that there would be protesters around it, but there was no one there actually, because I stopped and started to smile at it and just admire the beauty of Donald Trump's star. Then other people started to notice too, and even some freaks saw it, but they didn't yell at me, so that was good. I went to West Hollywood. That's, I guess, the posh area. It's also known as the sodomite area. There was sodomites only. I think I've never seen so many gays concentrated in one space. But actually, Washington D.C. is pretty bad too. We have bigger gay areas. The entire city is a den of AIDS. So I wasn't shocked. I mean, not much shocks me anymore. Halfway through this tour. What else did I see? I went through a few of the neighborhoods. I went to Burbank, which was nice. I'm in Bell, which is not so nice. I went to Glendale, which was Little Armenia. I have more to say about that. And I went to San Gabriel, which seemed to be a Chinese place. So, based on who you are, what your identity is, like in Chicago and to a lesser extent, like in San Francisco, you can find your neighborhood and you can stay camped out in that neighborhood. Even if someone says they live in LA, that could mean they live 2 hours away from you if traffic is a little bit bad. I mean, it's just a really unappealing place to live. On the bright side, it's not as expensive as San Francisco was. So at least you can make a living here. It's not cheap though. I went to an Armenian church, not in Glendale where all the Armenians are, but in Burbank. And this was the biggest church, Armenian church I've been to. There were maybe 400 people. There was a lot of worldly people that were in the church. I mean, by the way they dressed, it wasn't appropriate. So in my little church in DC, Armenian church, we don't have that kind of problem. Maybe once in a while, one girl will wear a sexy outfit, but here there was a lot. And there were a lot of young women, good looking. I was thinking, wow, I could probably more easily find an Armenian woman here, but I'm not going to live on the West Coast. One thing is that, there's traffic on the roads where, well, in the church, there was traffic to take communion. I had to wait about 20 minutes to receive the body and blood of Christ. They had 3 priests working the communion lines, and then another long line to kiss the gospel after that. So traffic everywhere here, man. It's just maybe it's not as dense as New York, but it still sucks. It sucks. And but I could see why some people would like to live here, because there's so many different options, entertainment options, places to go, places to fulfill your inferiority complex by playing the game, getting a bit of status, working in this industry, this business. So I can see the draw. I can see that you can be a somebody here if you dedicate your life to it. And so this is why people would want to stay, but it's not for a guy like me. And yeah, that's all there is to say about LA. There's so many places in LA I wanted to see. I wanted to go to Venice Beach, see where Arnold Schwarzenegger used to lift weights on the Muscle Beach, Santa Monica, Orange County. You have, I guess that's more south, Beverly Hills. I mean, there's tons of places here. And if when you're here for a few nights, you don't get to see a whole lot. But I think I got a taste of it. I mean, the West Coast is a degrading place. A lot of, there was one woman in Hollywood I saw dressed up in a sexy way, walking confidently. In my mind, thought, she's going to an audition to be sodomized by a Weinstein or a Goldman. This is it. This is when people come here from other parts of the country to sell their souls, But a lot of people are from here. But This is not a, I mean, you can feel the evil. I went by a couple of studios. I drove by and I said, oh, so that's where where the children get abused. You know, that's where the men and the women, they get violated in a sexual way on the casting couch for a chance at a role. It's just a dirty place. And there's no need to stay here for longer, but I wish I had more things to show you, but it's just too much to do. I have a couple of cousins here and I got a chance to meet with them, so I spent more time with them than filming. I'm sure that you understand, but I got one more California stop, San Diego, next week. So if you want to come to San Diego, it's going to be a little bit smaller than the LA talk, so more time for one-on-one time with you and me. And so after that, Phoenix, I start to go back to the East Coast. And I don't want to talk too much, but I'm starting to appreciate the East Coast a bit more. It's different. It's different. And I'll have more to say about that in the future. But a lot of the flaws I complained about on the East Coast compared to the West is not that bad. You know, we don't have this extensive homelessness problem. You know, people are less kind of hippie. The liberals on the East Coast don't take it as far as the ones on the West Coast. So hopefully I have some more to talk about that in the future. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time.